1768, early spring, in what is now southern Ohio, a legendary warrior is about to enter the world. In a wigwam 2 arrow flights from the Shawnee town of Chillicothe near the Scioto River, a woman labors through the pain of childbirth. 2 other women attend her, stoking the fire and keeping her warm and comfortable. Her name is Mithiotiski, of the Pakawi division of the Shawnee Nation. This is her 4th child, but not her last. As the sun dips below the horizon, a clear night sky stretches overhead. The women glance upward just in time to see a shooting star streak across the sky. The fire crackles, an owl screeches nearby. In the far distance, thunder rumbles like a war cry from the earth itself. Moments later, a baby boy is born into this world. His name would come 10 days later during the sacred naming ceremony. His father, the renowned warrior, Pukushinwa, summoned the name givers. After days of prayer and contemplation, they returned with 2 names. The name that was chosen was Tecumseh. In English, he would be known as Tecumseh, the shooting star. The name also reflected his clan, the Panther clan, of the Kispoka division. When Tecumseh's umbilical cord fell off, Pukushinwa placed it in his hunting bag. He carried it with him through the spring and summer until the leaves began to turn. Then he buried it with a deer antler and prayed to the Master of Life, hoping his son would be blessed with the skill of a great hunter. In his first year, like all Shawnee infants, Tecumseh was carried on his mother's back in a cradle board. It kept his spine straight and promoted strong posture. From there, he began to take in the world. Rows of corn surrounding the villages, worked by his mother and other women. The scent of roasting venison, turkey, buffalo tongue, and duck drifting from the campfires. Other meals included pumpkin, squirrel, and the sweet fruit of the pawpaw tree. Above the wigwams were great canopies of elm, maple, oak, sycamore, and buckeye trees, which swayed in the wind. There were few open fields, just dense forest dotted with occasional meadows. When Tecumseh learned to walk, his feet met the forest floor. He learned the ways of the plants and animals, and how to move through the woods with grace. Inside the home, he sat on fur rugs and cool dirt floors with his siblings. When Mithiotiski was away, his older sister Tecumseh watched over him. Tecumseh was a middle child. His older siblings were Chisika, the eldest, followed by Tecumseh, his only sister, and Sawasika. When Tecumseh was 2, his younger brother, Nahasimo, was born. About 5 years later came a rare set of triplets. One of the infants, a girl, did not survive, but 2 boys lived, Kumskaka and Lalashiga. Lalashiga would one day be known as Lalawethika, destined to be a prophet. The family also took in an adopted white brother named Richard Sparks, known to the Shawnees as Shah Tunte. Captured during the conflict, he stayed with the Shawnees until the end of Lord Dunmer's War in 1775. Later in life, he would speak fondly of Tecumseh, saying the boy always seemed destined for greatness. Around the campfire, young Tecumseh listened intently to stories from the elders. He heard of Pontiac's War and the teachings of the spiritual leader Neolin, of how the tribes of the Northwest united against the Redcoats. He also heard tales of ancient battles with the Great Serpent, whose bones and flesh were said to be used by witches and sorcerers for dark rituals. Whether Tecumseh believed in such magic is unclear, but the stories made a lasting impact on his younger brother, Lalawethika. From a young age, Tecumseh showed signs of leadership. He had his own gang of boys who followed him around everywhere. They hunted small game with child-sized bows and arrows and divided into teams for mock battles in the woods. Tecumseh played to win, never holding back. Strong, athletic, and admired by the girls, though he preferred hunting and adventure over courtship. At around age 7 or 8, Tecumseh contracted smallpox, but he endured and survived, carrying the scars like a warrior. In 1774, real tragedy struck. His father, Pukushinwa, fell in the Battle of Point Pleasant against the Long Knives. Before dying, he asked his eldest son, Chisika, to look after the family and to raise his younger brothers to be strong warriors. As revolution stirred in the east, conflict in the Ohio Valley escalated. After the murder of Chief Cornstalk, who had favored neutrality, the Shawnees took up the warpath under the leadership of Chief Blackfish, Cornstalk's less diplomatic friend. In 1778, Blackfish returned to Chillicothe with 27 prisoners. Among them were Daniel Boone and his salt boilers. One of them was a teenage boy named Benjamin Kelly, who befriended young Tecumseh and taught him English, a language he would later speak fluently. Kelly stayed with the Shawnees for 5 years. That same year, Blackfish attacked Boonesboro, but the effort failed. Discouraged, many of the Shawnees began migrating west towards the Mississippi. Among them was Methyotiski. She left her children behind in the care of Cheeseekau and Tecumseh. Blackfish became their guardian, but his fate too was sealed. In 1779, Kentucky militiamen led by Colonel John Bowman attacked and burned Chillicothe. Blackfish was wounded in the knee and later died. It was a devastating time. Abandoned by their mother, orphaned by war, and left without a home, Tecumseh and his brothers endured a wave of trauma. Still too young to fight, he was eager to prove himself. In the summer of 1780, 12-year-old Tecumseh joined his first war party. Shawnee and Mingo warriors, alongside British Rangers, attacked Ruddle Station in Kentucky. Though Tecumseh likely played a support role, he witnessed the brutal reality of frontier warfare. When the British brought a 6-pounder cannon to the stockade, Ruddle Station surrendered. But the native warriors ignored the surrender terms and stormed the gates, killing 20 settlers. Tecumseh was repulsed by the killings of captured women and children, and was vehemently opposed to torture. He carried this sentiment for the rest of his life. After the march north, Tecumseh made a new friend, 12-year-old Stephen Ruddle, one of the captured settlers. Adopted by the Shawnees and renamed Big Fish, Ruddle became one of Tecumseh's closest companions. Together they continued Tecumseh's education of the English language, and learned about one another's cultures. This friendship would last well into adulthood. Not long after, the Long Knives retaliated. In August of 1780, George Rogers Clark launched a campaign into Ohio, determined to crush the Shawnee forces. Chillicothe was abandoned and its crops destroyed. The warriors regrouped at Pequot, one of the Shawnee capitals. As Clark's forces advanced, the Shawnees fortified their town. Women and children took shelter in nearby cliffs. When the artillery opened fire, the wooden defenses crumbled, and the warriors, outnumbered and outgunned, were forced to retreat. Tecumseh fought alongside Cheeseekau, but when his older brother was wounded, fear overwhelmed him. Tecumseh threw down his weapon and fled from the battlefield. The Long Knives burned 500 acres of crops and leveled the town. It was never rebuilt. No one could blame Tecumseh for running. He was a boy after all, but for him the shame of that moment would never fade. He had run when it mattered the most. He failed his father's legacy, failed his brother, and failed his people. That day he made a vow never to run again. Now, with the pain of loss behind him and manhood ahead, he was ready for his vision quest. Still not a teenager, Tecumseh entered the forest alone in search of his destiny. He fasted, drank a powerful potion, and awaited a sign. No one knows what he saw or what spirits visited him during that time. That secret was his alone. But when he returned, Tecumseh the boy was gone. In his place stood Tecumseh, the man. Thank you for watching. That's all for this video, and take care.